Moving to trend number 2, focused on women in leadership. We've been hearing this as one of the top priorities of a lot of companies now. But this time, we're going to add something. Women in leadership and setting public targets for action. So presenting this trend talk is Anne Abraham, founder and chairperson of LeadWomen Malaysia. Anne is recognized as a thought leader in diversity and inclusion, both locally and regionally. She's a frequent speaker, facilitator, and moderator in events. She's the co-founder of the Malaysian chapter of the 30% Club, a global business campaign lobbying for increased women representation on the boards, a board director on a Malaysian PLC, and a strong advocate for gender-balanced leadership. So Anne's Trend Talk is going to help us answer the question, how can one target spark a nationwide movement for gender equality? Everyone, we present to you Anne. Hi, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you've heard a lot about the numbers from Malaysia, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it again. So I'm going to do it in 5 parts. So 1, the power of a target. So in June 2011, Malaysia, the then government in Malaysia, set an aspirational target to increase women representation in decision-making positions and on the boards of corporate Malaysia to 30%. And they wanted to do it by 2016. We didn't get there. So we're today proudly saying that we have achieved that target in 2023. So it's been a long haul, and basically why? Thank you. And it's taken us 12 years to get there. So you know that it is not about just preparing the supply and the demand will come. There are a lot more to the ground that prevents this from happening. And we're talking about this today, and I'm hoping it'll go beyond. So 1 is the power of target. Set a number, you get a concerted effort to drive towards it. It's a common goal, everybody knows it, it's in the conversations, it's kept high, and you will get there because everybody knows where we want to go. Clear purpose. 2, that I want to share with this target is, setting a target is 1, but it has to be intentional. There has to be focus, and you have to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. The patience, the resilience is a necessity to get us to the target, and that's exactly what it took in Malaysia. And the third thing that I want to bring is, the data tells us a story. And if you look at the numbers that I would like to just share with you, it took us almost 7 years of stagnation before you could see movement. So if you analyze the numbers and you look at the numbers, you will see for Malaysia, it took us quite a while, and we staggered at certain points and stagnated at certain points. And so data tells us a story, meaning that when we look at the numbers today, we are very happy. But if you actually break it down to granular detail, you will see that the absolute numbers are not as exciting or as encouraging, in the sense that the top 100 companies, we have 30.6 today. So it's exceeded our target slightly. But if you break it down, only 47% of 47 companies of the 100 have achieved that 30%, which means we still have a lot of work to do. So don't get blinded by just the number and the targets, break it down, and then you will see the extent of work that we have to do and still have to do. A fourth point I want to bring is that we must track, we must monitor. And that's exactly what we did in the last 12 years. We tracked every year, we tracked the number of seats, we tracked the number of women, we tracked the overall targets, and then at one point we decided we cannot manage it this way because we're talking about 900 companies listed on the stock exchange, and we're not going to get there because we have the large top 100 companies which are giving us a market cap of over 2 billion, and they are really the movers and shakers, and that's what we mean when we compare against the globe. So we decided to break our targets, 1, largest market cap companies, 2, the rest of the ocean. So when we tracked with the globe, we realized that we were doing quite well, and we could really push, because if the movers and shakers make it down the line, we will be able to influence the rest. And that's exactly what we're trying to do today. And it's hard, believe me. The rest, beyond the 100, it's hard. There are huge mindset shifts that we have to do, social norms, cultural norms that need to be broken, stereotypes that need to be changed. So it's going to take us a lot more time, but at least the whole nation is focused on 30%, conversations focused on 30%, and we know it brings value because we have seen it ourselves. And the last one I want to leave with all of us is, while we track, we monitor, we celebrate success, we name and shame when people don't get there. So all that has really helped us move this thing. I mean, like it or not, we got to take kind of drastic measures sometimes. But the last part that worries me a little bit is, will we sustain? Right? We are able to get the numbers there, but will we sustain? And what does it take to ensure that it is systemic change? And so that goes down to way beyond just monitoring, tracking. And of course, it involves policy reforms. The Code of Governance has supported us, the Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance. They have put in best practices. The government has mandated one woman on every board, which has helped the surge go up. But will it sustain? And this means it's going to take a lot of policy reform. It's going to take the will of the right stakeholders and the leaders to believe that this is where we want to go, and this is what's going to make a difference for Malaysia, and we have to make that stay and grow. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's a short story about where Malaysia is, and I will go back to say it is the power of that target. Thank you very much.